Your phone lights up, and your body answers before you do. Not with words, with a small tightening in the stomach, a quick inhale through the teeth, the thumb already moving. It's never a grand betrayal, it's always casual. A quick one. Can you? You're so good at this. And you notice something you can't unsee. They don't ask how you are. They ask what you can do. They don't plan with you. They drop things on you. They don't fear losing you. They fear losing your output. You keep calling it friendship, teamwork, loyalty. But the pattern is older than the relationship. The pattern is in the mind. The specific human problem this video addresses, you keep being used because your access is too easy to extract. The psychological pain the viewer experiences, resentment, fatigue, and a quiet shame for saying yes when you meant no. The hidden mistake the viewer believes is a virtue. You confuse being available with being valuable. The irreversible social/psychological consequence if they ignore it. You become a tool people reach for, not a person they respect. You don't get used to it because people are evil. You get used to it because you trained their nervous system to expect you. And the human mind loves anything it can predict. It turns patterns into policies. It turns your generosity into a machine. We turn philosophy into self-mastery, so you can stop being extracted and start being chosen. Here's the mechanic that runs the whole thing. The brain is an efficiency engine. It scans for the cheapest path to relief, and it repeats whatever worked last time. So people don't decide to use you. They learn. They test. They run small experiments on your availability. Midnight message. You answer. Their brain logs it. Last-minute crisis. You fix it. Their brain logs it. Disrespect with a smile. You smooth it over. Their brain logs it. You think they're judging your character. No. Your brain is training theirs. And your own mind is part of the trap. Because you don't only fear their disappointment, you fear the silence after you enforce. You fear being seen as difficult. You fear the moment where the room tightens. So you buy comfort. You pay for social safety with access, fast. You call it kindness. No, it's a transaction you never priced. You call it maturity. No, it's you swallowing the invoice. You call it keeping the peace. It's you funding the war against your own time. The reason it gets worse is simple. Predictability creates entitlement. If your yes is automatic, their effort becomes optional. If your help is free, their responsibility becomes negotiable. If your forgiveness is instant, their respect becomes lazy. And when you finally feel rage, you think the rage means they're the problem. No, the rage is the receipt for months of unpaid labor. So you need a new object in the relationship. Not a speech, not a boundary lecture, an artifact, something your mind can hold when your emotions shake. I call it the permission receipt. It's a single sheet, real or mental, that you stamp before any yes. It has 4 lines, and those lines change your life. What exactly is being asked? When it must be done? What it costs you in real currency? What they have done before they reached you. No stamp, no service. You think that sounds harsh? Good. Harsh is what your nervous system has been begging for. People train you too. They use the oldest lever in the human mind, relief. They create urgency, and your body mistakes urgency for importance. They create guilt, and your body mistakes guilt for duty. They create vagueness, and your mind panics because vagueness can't be refused cleanly. So you move. You fill the gap. You become the solution. Aurelius would call this a failure of assent. Not because you said yes, because you said yes without choosing. Your yes wasn't an act, it was a reflex. And that's the first correction. You don't need a harder personality. You need a slower moment.
A pause is not hesitation. A pause is a gate. Say this and mean it. I'm not answering on the spot. I'll confirm by tonight. Your body will protest. It will feel rude. It will feel risky. That sensation is not dangerous. It's withdrawal from being over-accessible. Now look at the 3 ways the mind turns you into a tool. First, speed. Instant replies teach people they don't need to respect your time, because time has no cost if you donate it on demand. Second, explanation. Long explanations teach people your no is negotiable, because negotiation is the drug of the entitled. Third, rescue. Rescue teaches people their incompetence is safe, because you will catch them before consequences do. You think you're being supportive. No, you're becoming a crutch. You think you're being reliable. No, you're becoming replaceable. Because once you're a function, you can be swapped for another function. Machiavelli would warn you here. Usefulness without terms becomes control. They don't chain you with force. They chain you with reliance. So you install terms. This is your first tactical line. Send it in one message, include the deadline and what you've already tried. You're not being cold. You're forcing ownership to appear. And if they refuse clarity, notice the truth. They don't want help. They want submission. Now you build the permission receipt into a method, not in a mood. A method survives stress. Step 1. Stamp the request. Before you reply, write the task in 8 words or less. If you can't summarize it, you don't understand it, and you'll overcommit. Step 2. Name the currency. Is this costing you sleep, focus, emotional steadiness, money, reputation, a weekend? If you can't name the currency, you will leak it. Step 3. Demand proof of effort. What have you done so far? What have you tried? Who else did you ask? If they did nothing, you're not helping. You're enabling. Step 4. Set a response window. You do not owe instant access. Give it time, you will respond, and protect it like a meeting. I'll look at it after lunch, and I'll tell you by 4. Step 5. Set a price. Price doesn't always mean money. It means a condition. Notice, format, reciprocity, payment, ownership. If they can't pay, they can't enter. Step 6. Close the loop. After you help, write what changes next time. Otherwise, you'll repeat the same one-time favor forever. And listen, if you only use this when you're calm, it won't work. The moment you're tired, you'll relapse. That's the real test. Stamp the receipt when you most want to please. Jung would call the relapse a shadow bargain, the part of you that wants to be indispensable, so you offer yourself before you're asked. Not because you love them, because you fear being irrelevant. So you cut that deal off. Your second tactical line is clean. I can do this once, and next time it needs 24 hours notice. No speech, no sermon, just a new exchange rate. And your third line is the one that changes your reputation. What's the owner of this? Because if nobody owns it, you will. Now let's make it real, not inspirational. Because the mind doesn't change from ideas, it changes from enforcement. Now watch the mind games that aren't even games. They're just incentives for wearing a costume. Manufactured urgency is the loudest one. A message that pretends the world will end in 10 minutes. Your eyes narrow, your shoulders rise, your pulse taps behind your ribs, and you call that sensation responsibility. No, your body is reacting to social threats. Because the mind treats disapproval like exile. So you sprint. You become their nervous system. And the cruel part is this. Some people live in urgency, not because the work is urgent, but because their life is disorganized. They trained everyone around them to run. If you join, you get rewarded with temporary relief. Thank you, a compliment, a moment of being needed. Then the next fire arrives.
Because you taught them fires work. Here's the micro turn that stings. You think you're saving the project. No, you're saving their habits.
Guilt is the second lever. They don't say, I want to use you. They say, you're the only one I can trust. Your chest warms for a second, then it tightens, because you can feel the trap, and you still want to be chosen. So say it clean. I'm not the only one. I'm the one you reached for. Flattery is the third lever. You're so good at this, nobody does it like you. It feels like respect, but it's often captivity with a velvet rope. Here's the micro turn. They're not praising you, they're pricing you. They're testing what your ego will accept as payment. Ambiguity is the fourth lever. They keep it vague so you can't refuse without feeling cruel. You ask for the deadline, they give a story. You ask for the scope, they give a feeling. You ask what they've tried, they give a compliment. That's fog, and fog is controlled. So the receipt becomes your weapon. No details, no entry. No owner, no service. No timeline, no promise. And your mind will fight you here. It will whisper, be easy, be low maintenance, don't make it awkward. But awkward is the cost of becoming expensive. One more pressure point is inside you, the part that hates uncertainty. You see the typing bubble. You check again. You read the message twice like it controls your blood pressure. You tell yourself you're calm. Your jaw says otherwise. This is the human mind at its weakest. It would rather pay with your time than sit in discomfort for 20 seconds. So you practice sitting, not as meditation, as for conditioning. You watch the urge to reply instantly. You let it peak, you let it pass, and you don't disappear. You respond with structure. I saw this, I'll reply by 5. Do that, not the other thing you do when you panic. Over-explain, over-promise, over-perform. Because every extra sentence you add to your boundary is asking for permission.
And the point of the permission receipt is simple. You stop asking. You start stating terms. That's why the method works. Not because people become nicer, because the mind, yours and theirs, adapts to the new price. In the next part, you'll see how one clean receipt flips a whole room, not through conflict, through policy. Same request, same urgency, different exchange rates. And your nervous system will finally learn what a clean yes feels like. You won't need confidence. You'll need receipts and the nerve to honor them daily. The scene is ordinary, which is why it works. Monday, 9:06 a.m. Fluorescent light, stale coffee, a meeting room that smells like printer ink. Your calendar is packed. Your brain is already doing triage. Then it happens. A message pings in the team channel. Need you on this, super urgent. No details, no owner, just a hook. You feel the old reflex. You start composing the yes before you even know what this is. Then you reach for the permission receipt, not as a philosophy, as a physical interruption. A small act that stops the mind from sliding into its favorite addiction, approval. You stamp the receipt. What exactly is being asked? And suddenly you notice something you used to ignore. Most requests are not requests. They're drafts. They're emotional noise disguised as tasks.
So you reply with the first line you already own. Send it in one message, include the deadline and what you've already tried. Watch what happens. The room doesn't explode. Nobody dies. The universe doesn't punish you. What happens is quieter. They either clarify or they disappear. And that disappearance is information. Because if your access is free, people will waste it. If your access has terms, only real needs survive. You think you're refusing them. No, you're refusing confusion. Now they send details. Still urgent, still pushing. So you stamp the next line. What does it cost you? You glance at your day. 2 stakeholder calls.
A deliverable due by noon. A manager who loves quick wins and hates delays. So the currency is focus, and focus is a finite resource. Now you set the window. I'll look at it after lunch, and I'll tell you by 4. That sentence is not courtesy. It is a boundary that doesn't beg. Here's the micro-turn. You think the window is for them. No, it's for your nervous system. Because when you stop sprinting, you stop resenting. Now the case study. Not a movie scene, a real one. Wednesday, 4:38 p.m. Open plan office, glass walls, the low hum of keyboards. The quarterly performance review packet is due tomorrow morning, and your manager is anxious. A senior stakeholder is visiting. The team wants the deck perfect. A coworker, smart, charming, always overwhelmed, walks to your desk with a laptop half closed. They lean in like it's confidential. "Quick favor," they say, smiling. "Can you rewrite the executive summary, make it punchier?" They add the poison softly. "You're the best at this." Your body reacts before your mind. A small lift in the chest, then a drop. Because you know what rewrite means. It means 2 hours. It means your own work moves to midnight. This is where most people fold. They don't fold because they're weak. They fold because the mind hates tension. And the mind will pay any price to remove it. So you reach for the permission receipt. You write it on a sticky note right there. Ask, rewrite executive summary. Deadline, tonight. Currency, 2 hours of focus. Proof, what have you done? Then you look up and ask the only question that creates reality. What have you already written? They hesitate. They laugh. They say, "I have notes, but it's messy." And there's your answer. You remember the rule. If they did nothing, you're not helping. You're enabling. So you use the second line you already own. I can do this once, and next time it needs 24 hours notice. No smiley, no apology, no paragraph. They blink, then push. But it's for tomorrow, and you're faster. Here's the moment. Your throat tightens. Your fingers want to type an explanation. Your old self wants to soften it. You don't. You do the boring thing. You repeat the terms. I can do it once, and next time it needs 24 hours notice. Then you close the loop. What's the owner of this? Now they're forced to name it. They say the manager's name. They say the stakeholder. They say the truth. They weren't asking for help. They were trying to outsource consequence. So you redirect ownership. Loop them, you say, calm. Let them confirm the changes, then send me the final notes. Watch what happens. They stop smiling. Then they start working. An hour later, you get a message. They've rewritten it. They want a quick polish. You review it in 15 minutes. Your work stays intact. Your sleep stays intact. And something else shifts. Not in them, in you. Your shoulders drop. Your breath slows. You feel a clean yes. Not extracted, chosen. That is the point of repricing. Not to punish people, to stop punishing yourself.
Now you need the contrasts, because the mind learns through clear edges. Delay with a return time, not silence that creates chaos. State the term once, not a courtroom speech that invites negotiation. Redirect ownership, not rescue that keeps them helpless. Those are not tips. They are repatterning. They change what people expect from you. And when people test you, because they will, remember this: tests are confessions. A test tells you what they valued, your presence or your output, and you don't have to hate them to pass the test. You just have to respect yourself more than you respect the story you've been selling. Now answer this, yes or no, with no explanations. Not for me, for your own clarity. Do people contact you mainly when they need something? Do you respond faster to others than you respond to yourself? Do you feel guilty when you let someone carry their own consequences?
Do you explain your no more than you explain your yes? Do you feel relief when plans cancel because you were overextended? If 3 or more hit, your access is underpriced. Not because you're bad, because you're unpriced. Now spot the leaks this week, not as judgment, as inventory. You apologize for being busy. You accept calls with no agenda. You reply while eating, walking, or in bed. You change your plan because someone else is disorganized. You do favors with no clear return. You tolerate last-minute requests more than once. You keep rescuing people who don't improve. If 2 of those are daily, you're not generous. You're predictable. Here's how you fix it without turning into a robot. You run a short protocol, not forever, for a week, long enough to reset the training loop. Day 1, pick one drain, one person, one context, one channel. Write the last 5 times they reached for you and how it ended. Minutes spent, sleep loss, mood after. Day 2, stamp the permission receipt before you reply, every time. Ask deadline, currency, proof. Even if you still say yes, especially if you still say yes. Day 3, introduce the window. No instant replies to non-emergencies. Reply with structure and a time you will return. Day 4, enforce once. One request that violates terms, one clean refusal, then you exit. You don't argue with tone. You don't soothe their disappointment. You let the air do the work. Day 5, redirect ownership. Before you help, ask what they've tried and who owns it. Make them move before you move. Day 6, say yes once to someone who earned access. Notice your body. Clean yes feels quiet. Dirty yes feels tight. Day 7, review the evidence. Who adapted? Who disappeared? Who escalated? You don't need to label them. You need to see them. Because repricing doesn't just change them. It changes what you allow your own mind to tolerate. And understand what you're really fighting, not them. A design flaw in the human mind. The mind reduces friction. It looks for shortcuts. So if you make yourself the shortcut, you become the default route. That's why you can't hint your way out. Hints are soft. The mind ignores soft. The mind obeys consequences. Nietzsche would call the price of softness ressentiment, that sour, private hatred that grows when you keep giving what you don't want to give. You smile, then you stew. You help, then you punish them silently. You delay texts, you go cold. You start fantasizing about disappearing. You think that makes you strong. No, it makes you dishonest. It's your body collecting interest on a debt you refused to name. So price early. Not when you're shaking, not when you're furious. When you're still calm enough to be precise. And when you enforce, keep it smaller than their emotion. They panic. You send a policy. They send a paragraph. You send a sentence. They send a sigh. You send a window. Then you end the loop with motion. Push back. Lock the screen. Set the phone under paper. Let your nervous system learn this gait is real. Lao Tzu would call it strength without strain. No performance, no anger costume, just gravity. Because some people don't negotiate with logic. They negotiate with endurance. They keep talking until you fold. So you don't fold. You exit and expect the first week to feel strange. That's the withdrawal. You'll want to explain yourself to restore comfort. You'll want to send the extra message to prove you're still good. You'll want to repair their story about you. Don't. Your reputation is not built by persuasion. It's built by repetition. Raise the price and watch the sorting happen. Some people become respectful overnight. Some people test harder. Some people vanish. Good. That's not loneliness. That's filtration. Now the final shift, the identity line. You are not an open door. You are a gate with a purpose. And if you're thinking, what if they get mad? Notice the word they. That's the old contract speaking through your mouth. Stop rehearsing their comfort. Start honoring your terms. Here's the measurable experiment. 3 days, and it requires the permission receipt. For the next 3 days, pick one drain. Every time they reach for you, stamp the receipt. Ask, deadline, currency, proof. Then do one of 3 things. If the receipt is clear and the price is fair, you say yes cleanly. If the receipt is vague, you demand clarity using your first line. If the receipt is disrespectful, you enforce terms using your second line. Then you write down what happens. Who clarifies? Who vanishes? Who escalates? And you post one field report in the comments the moment you enforced, what they did next, and how your body felt after. Because this isn't a theory, it's conditioning. And the next video goes deeper, not into more rules, into frame. How to hold your ground when people punish the new price and the silence gets loud. If this hits you, don't think about it. Prove it. Run the 3-day experiment, then leave a field report in the comments. The exact moment you enforced, what they did next, and what your body did after. And subscribe, because the next video is the one most people fail. The sovereign mindset. How to hold your frame when the world tries to break you. That's where the punishment starts. The silence, the guilt, the smear, the you changed. If you can't hold your frame there, you'll crawl back to being easy to use. So don't disappear, don't lurk, don't cope. Execute and report. And if this hits you, subscribe and send this to one friend.